Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have another replay from the Teamstory Cup. This time between MVP Lure and Mill 4GG. Now, I've casted a couple of 4GG games. I do enjoy watching him. But Lure is somebody that I don't know as much about. He's somebody... I'm going to speed it up here a little bit at the beginning. He's obviously on MVP, so he's got to be worth something to what these guys are doing. But I haven't cast a lot of Protoss versus Terran lately. And I'd be very interested to just kind of see what styles these two guys use at the highest level, because my Terran versus Protoss is not one of my stronger matchups, I don't think. We see a gateway first, not going for any kind of super crazy expansion. Which surprised me that neither of them are doing that, neither a Nexus first nor a CC first on this map. I suppose it's a little bit too easy to do some sort of cheese, or even to just do like a 3 gateway push and bust if you don't have enough defenses out in time. We even see the cybernetics and the gas before we see any sort of Nexus, so I'm assuming that we're going to be seeing some form of pressure out of this. I could be completely wrong, known to happen from time to time. Speed it back up here again. This guy's sitting around waiting for something. Looks like it's going to be, there we go, command center. So he's interested, sorry, 4GG is interested in getting to some form of economy here pretty quick. And then down goes the Nexus. So all is good in the world. We do see the mothership core coming out. Warp gate research. Is he spreading chrono boost on it? No, he's not. Yeah. Take that thing out. Alright, so continue with marine production. And we've got 2 more racks coming down after that. Finally, the gas is being taken at this point. Let's look at the units tab. Pretty even on workers to this point, even with the chrono boost, so that's pretty good on 4GG to keep up with that. We don't see anything else really crazy yet. We do see 1 stalker coming out here, just to try and put on a little bit of pressure at the front, see what's going on. He will see the command center move over, and he'll get shooed away pretty fast there, so that's not really going to make too much of a difference. Robotics facility, no other gateways yet. Double gas there. No 3rd and 4th gas taken just yet either. So nothing too out of the ordinary. Continuing along with the speed, because this is a bit of a longer replay. We haven't seen any action yet. Good chunk of Marines. We see the Observer coming out. So we'll see how aware 4GG is, if he's going to be able to pick that off or not. Stim pack, more Marines. Factory, we're not seeing a fast 3rd command center. Though we do see a very fast 3rd Nexus. I think I've noticed that about the style of the Korean players a little bit more, is that they're really taking a lot of risks on getting out a better economy. I mean, you can always cancel that, but it's a pretty big investment of not building up infrastructure at this point. Playing on the lower leagues, you'll almost never see that happen. I sometimes see, a really fast 3rd, hatchery from a Zerg, but it's not very often you're going to see a 3rd CC, or even in particular a 3rd Nexus where you can't really defend it. I mean, you can build your 3rd command center in a safe spot, and then move it over. Where's the scan happening? It must have been to take out one of the observers back at home there. Still chugging along. Medevac's coming out now, so we'll see if we get some drop play. If we look at the units, well, 4GG looks like they both got pretty decently supply blocked there for a moment. Units wise, bigger leads starting to edge out there now. Particularly as the 3rd Nexus should hopefully start producing some workers here pretty soon as well. Immortals, another 4 gateways look like are going down now. So with this kind of economy, it looks like he's just more interested in... Oh, I got the Observer out of that too. That's kind of funny. Good target firing by 4GG, otherwise they would have just went after the Stalker, so that was a nice hit. Medevacs are out now, so that should take care of these Stalkers at the front. Looks like he'll go around to try and do some damage. With all these Stalkers out here, there might not be much of a defense at home for Lure to stop this draw coming in. Do we even see another command center coming out yet? No, it looks like he just wants to get out a really big army and be able to do some damage with that. Defense has returned home. With the force fields, he should feel fairly secure. Excuse me, against any type of army pushing in. But these drops Looks like they're just coming into vision now. Boosting into the mineral line. Let's see how many workers he can get. Only 2, 3 at this point. Just gonna tickle the pylon. Now he could probably have moved in here to get a little bit more specific tech. The army's really far out of position at this point. There's no target fire on the medevacs from the planetary nexus there. So he might lose one there if he's not careful. Yep, just manages to, oh, now it's gonna go down. Never mind. Oh, we do see the expansion behind this. That's really smart by ForGG. Obviously the army's back here taking care of this drop. Oh, yeah, get out of there. Medevac is gonna, yeah, that gets shot to crap. Anyways, they managed to do a pretty good amount of damage there. 10 workers killed, that's pretty decent. He denied mining at pretty much 2 bases for that minute or two. So he actually got a pretty good lead on the economy. It looks like he tried to pressure the front, but he's just gonna have to return now. Lure still has the supply lead, even after that harassment. Well, I guess ForGG did lose 2 medevacs worth of units. Another supply block here by Lure. Had to drop down 2 or 3 pylons just to be able to get out of that. Looks like he's been getting a little flustered. I don't think that should have been happening as often as it is. Pylon on down here. It's really good with this map. He gets really close to the bottom, so you should be able to see any sneaky drops that come that way. There's not really any good... It's not really any angles that medevacs can get through that you wouldn't be able to spot for on the side of the map here. So it's good to try and get a little bit of vision in place for that. If we look at the economy now, lead has been taken by ForGG. The harassment damage plus having the 3 bases up, obviously he's doing well. That's just a hallucination in place to be able to scout what's going on. Lure has lost the supply lead temporarily, but probably one more warp-in cycle and that'll be taken care of. More racks happening. He's on 7 racks. I am kind of surprised that's pretty delayed on the robotics tech, particularly seeing the amount of bio, and essentially marine bio out of this. There's more marauders coming in now, but Colossus seems like it's pretty delayed at this point. This push, if he gets out here with enough army, will be there long before Colossus is. Nice little drop over on the side. He dodged those pretty good there. Used up a lot of the force field energy out of those sentries, so he's going to have to warp in some more if he wants to hold off this double push. That is a lot of Colossus in place. It's also another kind of surprising composition. I mean, not Colossus. Immortals are obviously big damage dealers, but against Marines, they're just not as effective. They're great against the Marauders, obviously. But the Colossus is what you really want to have out at this point. I think that's a little bit too big of an army for ForGG to bust, so it looks like he is going to start pulling back with his units here. I wouldn't be pushing into that with the force fields, the cannons in the back. That just looks like it'll be a little bit too challenging to bust. These units are just hanging out down here. I'm a little surprised. Maybe he wants to do a drop soon, but that's just in the position to get picked off if he's not paying attention to it. More units, lots of medevacs in this composition, which is great. It's good to get over those force fields, and obviously a lot of your medevacs end up getting shot down by stalkers that have blink or something to kite them. Transition into the Vikings now. He's got enough medevacs out. The second starport's on the way, so he should be able to get out plenty of Vikings to deal with the Colossus numbers. Thermal Lance is just wrapping up, as well as 2-2 is on the way right now. Well, 2-2 is on the way for both of them. Pretty even in the upgrades. They'll be done slightly, no, just about right matched up with each other there, and +1 air. So upgrades wise, they're both keeping pace pretty well. 4th base going down, first for ForGG. I believe his economy is still probably... That's about even, but obviously with the mules, that really helps out the Terran a lot. Stalker's just hovering around trying to pick off drops. I'm somewhat surprised Lure hasn't tried to go for something to put pressure on the Terran. Maybe a forward pylon to warp in some zealots. He doesn't have a Stargate for any oracles or anything like that, but there's been no pressure on the Terran whatsoever. He's been able to just build up completely unhindered. And it's usually the emphasis is on the Terran to do the damage, so that might not be as big of a deal. This Colossus ball is starting to get a lot bigger. Probably could use another robotics bay if you wanted to be able to get down a little bit more Colossus production. Forward pylon finally in place. No hints of another base yet out of Lure. This base is getting run through pretty fast here. This one's still fairly healthy. It's only about 1/3 to 1/2 taken down, so it should still last a bit. This is a pretty good sized army. No ghost tech that I'm pretty sure I've seen yet. See, that's a great thing about having those blink stalkers, picking off a few medevacs in the front, and blinking away. I don't think that ForGG can really afford to push into this. The Vikings are in a good spot down here to maybe snipe Colossus. But he'd get way cut down with all these Zealots. Do they have charge yet? Yes, they do. Zealots with charge and 2-2 finished. This is a bad spot. I don't know about this for ForGG. Force fields, once again, don't seem to hit very much. It'd have been good to be at the top of the ramp, perhaps. But that was a much better position for Lure. Now ForGG is in full retreat. Oh, he has got some ghosts in here. He is losing them because they can't retreat as fast as everybody else. Supplies dropping pretty fast for both players, but with these Archons up front, splash damage is really killing a lot of units. Falling back to the planetary is smart. That's going to be able to do a ton of damage and deflect a lot of damage coming off the Protoss. These Colossus have not gone down yet. I'm pretty sure that's the same fleet he started with. Only 2 Vikings left for ForGG. Lure is losing some supply, but ForGG is much further down. He can afford to lose this base though. He has lost a lot of workers doing that. This army is still pretty tough for Lure. Looks like this base is under attack down here. Gets the cancel off though, so that's alright. Lots of production out of ForGG. He should be able to get his army back pretty fast. But these Colossus down here and without the big Viking support, he's got 5. Should be able to do some sniping. Stalkers playing into the front, try to pick off the Vikings. Just gonna knock down these rocks and try to push in for the kill right now. He's got a lot of units and a lot of Zealots. I think he's gonna be able to do this. I didn't think this was a really great position for Lure to attack into, but I think he's gonna be able to pull it off just with the amount of high-tech units he has to bust down here. It's really hard to say exactly where things went wrong for ForGG, because he did have an army of equal size. He had the Viking support. He had some ghosts in there as well. But at this point, it's pretty much done. I don't think that there's going to be much that ForGG can do behind this. The Colossus are down. I mean, that's fantastic. But these Immortals in the back, they've all got a good handful of kills. They're just cutting through everything so well. Well won, and he leaves the game. If I had to pick a time when this really changed for ForGG is when he got trapped down here against the rocks. He's just in such a bad position, and then he got pushed back away from the army. Like, it was just, the charge lots were getting in on top of it, and he had to just stim and run away. He never had a really great engagement to be able to take that army, so just poor army control, I think, is what really cost ForGG that game. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that. We got some more from the Teamstory Cup coming up here soon.